That time in overseas, serving with fellow Texans was truly a remarkable time in my life, and I think that this past holiday season, I shared with some friends last night, was always kind of a memorable time for me during the Christmas holidays. We had, obviously, folks trying to do bad things to us every day that we drove Jalalabad Road with security elements. And on Christmas morning, specifically, driving to our base camp to be able to use computers to wake up my two children on Christmas morning, my buddy Mark Millis from Austin, Texas, as we pulled into the base camp, we're blocked in by two vehicles, and I'm rolling out to do my thing. He grabs it, pulls me back in the vehicle. We drive through what was looked as a near ambush, and we get into the Alamo. And I know that morning my wife heard a change in my voice as I talked to my youngest son. And so this Christmas season is always memorable for me because I've got two buddies that have gone back now. Doc Gonzalez from Donna, Texas, and Sean Iyer from Kaufman, Texas. And it's important for me to understand, and what Mr. Cornyn will never understand, or anyone in this race will ever understand, probably the toughest part of a deployment for a military family is being away during this time of year. As many hardships and other things that come with the job, being separated from your family and your children is probably the toughest. And that's why I'm running for the United States Senate, is to bring my brothers and sisters home. But shortly after that, we were called back to special session in Austin, public school finance. And sitting there in May of 2006, I was incredibly disillusioned by the entire conversation. I had spent 14 months away, and I see these people debating on the microphones, and it was a wah, 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 the same old thing. It was tax cut here, tax cut there, never discussing a vision of what we could be as Texans in terms of having the preeminent education system in the world. And we have now an opportunity for us of discontent and of folks in this country that are prepared for change. But it's just not about change. And we see it across the state. We see it whether it's in Iowa, or we see it whether it's a special election in Tarrant County. And it's just not enough for me to say, okay, I've got the skill sets, I've got the experience, I've got these things. It is about standing up for Texas values and Texas principles. You can't have John Cornyn come into Sun City to take photo ops with the greatest generation and then go back to Washington to want to privatize Social Security. You can't have John Cornyn walk through a chip call center, which would have allowed for an additional 400,000 Texas children of working families to have insurance that we're going to wind up paying for anyway, either increased premiums or increased local taxes when they need acute care. And go back to Washington, D.C. and vote against insuring Texas children. You can't have a senator of this state that will vote with the pharmaceutical companies and not allow the federal government to negotiate for cheaper meds for senior citizens. You can't have a United States senator, so-called from Texas, that will vote against veterans issues, that will not allow on the Webb-Hagel Amendment where a soldier can spend as much time with his family as the amount of time that he is deployed. We got to, each and every one of us, stand up for Texas values and Texas principles.